Everyone, old school Pokemon here, back again with the PokeFlipz podcast premiere, joined by my usual co-host, Catch 'em All Collectibles, Dan. How are we doing tonight, Dan?
We're doing well, because it is, technically it's Tuesday morning, but it is very late Monday night. The Jets, how about them Jets? I mean, bummer about Aaron Rodgers. I don't think it's been officially said, but he's probably done for the year, given what we saw there. But for the Jets to have taken that game in the way they did, that was wild. So I'm riding that high still a little bit. We've only got a couple questions, but really looking forward to the chat with Java, which you will be fed into immediately following this premiere. But with that, we can jump right in. I guess I should ask you how you're doing before we jump into the questions.
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Excited for some pre-Collecticon hype.
Absolutely. Yep. Really excited for that. So with that, let's get right into the questions. So Noiser PXE says, question, generally how would you go about pricing a rare card that has a low pop that shows up once in every 2 years? Thanks. Fairly common question. We've definitely had this quite a few times, but I understand why. It is a little bit daunting when you have a card. You've got like the goods. There's none listed. There's. I mean, you look at TCG Fish. You look at Pokemon Price. You look at Terapeak. If there's anything, it's very dated and it's very out of date. Not the answer people generally like to hear, but it really comes down to you. You own it. What are you willing to take? One kind of like test that I think might be worthwhile to like just run through the mental side of it. Say you come up with like, I mean, there's all the obvious things that we always say, like look at the most similar comp, look at another card in the same set, another card in a similar set. Is it a low pop gold star? Is it a low pop, super low pop EX? Like look for the closest analog you can find, because I swear there will be something, no matter how niche it is. There's something relatively close that you can comp it to. But anyways, once you get through all that and come up with a number, pretend as if you list it for that, and pretend as if someone snaps 5 seconds and buys it. Will you be happy, or will you be in regret that you think you could have gotten more? Go through that exercise in your head. You can't get to an extreme. You need to be careful that you don't get to an extreme of asking $1 million. And then within 2 weeks, lowering it down to $500,000, and then within 2 more weeks, lowering it down to 100,000. Like, take into account all the normal things. Do you need to sell it? Are you fine owning it for a long time? I actually recently had a very high profile, largely uncompable card, the 1-of-1 Mothman. There was another, like literally a 1-of-1. There's no other one in the world, but there was a different but similar Mothman that there was a bounty out for $30K, and it went for $32K. Some people would have said that one was more desirable. Some people would have said that was less desirable. The market changed in the interim too. That one happened a few months prior. We came out of the gate against my early advice to the consigner at $45,000 your best offer. Very unrealistic in my opinion. And the next thing, within a month or so, we were immediately lowering the price to $16,000. And then it was being shopped around on Facebook for $10,000 to $12,000. If you show way too unrealistic of a price and immediately just start slashing it out of the gate, I think that shows a lot of signs of weakness. I think that shows a lot of signs. Like, you'd almost be better just auctioning it. And when I say you almost would be better auctioning it, that's kind of like a fairly big thing, because I don't say that too many things are best auctioned. But again, I don't know what you have exactly. I don't know exactly how niche it is. I would highly caution that. But yeah, come up with a number that if it snap sells, you'll be happy with and you won't regret. And come up with a number, though, that's like semi-realistic. Come up with a number that someone actually might pay. It's hard to say what that would be without knowing what you're talking about. But yeah, that's like the thought process I'd go through. What do you think about?
Yeah, I think you brought up a lot of good points. I was gonna say about the pricing. You want to price it high, but you want it to be realistic, where you're not going to be drastically lowering the price point like that. Because once you start drastically lowering the price point, people are just going to wait and play the waiting game until you lower it again and lower it further and further and so on and so forth. But yeah, on it depends on like what you're actually talking about too. Like I think with the Mothman, the 1-of-1 Mothman that you auctioned, I thought that was a smart move auctioning it. Just because it is something that's really, really tough to price. But at the same time, there's a decent amount of interest for that type of card. So I think in that case it was a good move auctioning it. But on something like something like really niche, like a like Tops on 10s come to mind. For in Pokemon, there's not many buyers of those cards, but there are a few buyers that will offer a lot of money for 10s of those cards because there are a lot of them that are low pop. So stuff like that, I think, is always best off buy it now. But if it's something like that has a lot more demand to it, I think an auction is a good route to go for stuff like that, because it could end up lower than what you were initially expecting, but at the same time, it could also go higher than what you were thinking. And you could always try the buy it now route and then the auction route. The trouble with that is you're probably going to, people who are interested in that particular card are going to see the buy it now price and see that that buy it now price is kind of the ceiling of what the card should be worth, because they could have bought it at that buy it now price. So then if you go in turn and do an auction for it, it's not going to go above that buy it now price. So I think you're almost better off taking the risk and doing the auction route, depending on what it is.
Yep.
If it's just some super niche card, probably just list it buy it now. But if it is like a high demand type of card that there's going to be a lot of interest in, I think I do like the auction route.
Yeah, and just to give like the remainder of the story that I started there, and you touched on some, the Mothman was offered at 45 or best offer, and then 16 or best offer. It was being shopped publicly on Facebook groups and in Discords and things by the consignor for 10 to 12,000. It ultimately ended for 11,100 via auction. I truly think that had it never been listed, especially for 16,000, especially being shopped for 10 to 12,000, I mean, that's where it ended up. So I think if we had just gone straight to auction, or maybe from 45K to auction, I think it could have performed slightly better. I think that buy it now having been placed at 16, and then it being publicly offered for 10 to 12, I think that's set in a lot of people's minds. But all said and done, the consignor was very happy with what they got. I was very happy. I was a little nervous that it being publicly shopped for 10 to 12,000, that it might only go for 5 or 6 or something. I was really nervous that it might have gone a lot lower. But yeah, those are our thoughts. There's no like perfect answer. It just really comes down to what you and a buyer agree to. That's and then again, if you really enjoy the card and don't mind having it, price it a little higher and accept best offer. If you really need the capital, if you really need to let it go, or you really want to, because you think that like the pop might go up drastically, someone else might list one and make a low comp for you, whatever it may be, the answer changes slightly depending on your goals and depending on like how much you need or want to move it. So as always, an answer full of a lot of nuance and if this then that, fence sitting as some would call it. But that's the world we live in, and we live in a reality where it's not just black or white. And I'll let you take this one first.
So brother Barack at TCG, how do you look up a seller on eBay? I've tried searching Nick before and cannot figure it out. So for me personally, I always just Google. I'll Google Catch 'em all collectibles eBay, and usually it's the first one that pops up. Maybe the second or third, but usually it's right up there at the top. So that's normally how I do it. But there's also something. What Dan is showing you right now is this is the page like on the on like the eBay page where there's a search bar. If you click advanced search, which is to the left of the search bar, you get to this page, and you can actually search by a specific seller. So you click on that search by seller button, and you scroll all the way down here to sellers, and then you can actually type in the seller's name, and hopefully it'll work in Dan's example.
Let's see.
I don't know if you actually attempted to figure this out.
I did it.
There we go. There we go.
And
why
I like
all your listings that show up first? That's
I
not
was just
fair.
gonna say I like that it's all mine that are showing up first. Where's your first one?
I wonder if it's gonna show all of yours and then all of mine.
I mean, that's the way it should
there's
be.
one.
Where?
I think the 99.95.
No, I think that's mine too. For some reason, it doesn't have
yeah, I just noticed it because it didn't have the catch 'em all collectibles thing.
That's funny. Oh wait, that's you. Oh, no,
wait,
that's me too.
No, that's you. I don't have that listed.
Oh, that's funny. Where are you? Nick Shadowban from eBay.
Ooh, they don't care about me. They don't care about me.
I've done my 10 listings a day the entire year. Let me go to the last page.
Still all you.
You're just wait. Do you have spaces?
Oh, you know what it is? There's dashes in between my name. So it's old dash school dash Pokemon.
Okay, now we got to run it back. We've got to see if you. I'm gonna be mad if you win. Okay. Oh no, that's me too. Or is that?
No, that was mine. Second person.
I have that card too for a consigner. Did you undercut me? You monster.
No, because I've had that listed forever.
Okay, so I've got 1 and 3. You've got 2 and 4. I can live with it.
There we go. There we go. Oh, look at that. I'm on a run right here. What have you sold 3,000 of?
We're pretty intermingled. Where did 3,000 go?
Well,
that's you.
That's mine.
That's funny. Oh, Nick with the subtle flex there.
No, I honestly thought that was yours.
Oh, that's funny. But anyways, nothing for me to add there. I mean, we covered it. We showed how it works. We showed that if you do your daily listings, that you'll get search number 1 when put up against your rival eBay seller. So that's good to see. But yeah, that's it for this premiere. Shortly, you will be funneled into our live with Java Akuma, where we talk about Charlotte Collecticon pre-gaming hype, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we'll see you over there.
See you in a bit.